What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are going to do another reaction. Shout out to the Renegades. These are the fans of the artist REN. I did a reaction to the video Hi REN and broke it down kind of therapeutically, and I've gotten a lot of love, and I just want to reciprocate that back to you guys. Shout out the Renegades. Shout out REN as an artist. Like, this is awesome. And so many people commented on that video to really just like say that there's a lot of other songs that are really important therapeutically. And so yeah, I'm gonna listen to you guys and go in the direction that you guys asked me to. And so today we are doing Sick Boy by REN. So let's jump right into it, and make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology.
Okay, so just kind of to break down the situation, it seems like he is in some sort of therapeutic intervention of some sort. It seems like he's talking to a therapist, just the way that this lady brought up trauma and what trauma can do to our bodies and how it can clearly affect our biology. It could definitely influence. So when it talks about biology, I think they're referring to kind of some of the actual physical aspects of our being, like trauma and witnessing a traumatic experience can alter our brain chemistry, as well as kind of manifest themselves in what's called somatic symptoms. And these are like physical symptoms that you may feel that may be like embodiment of like depression, anxiety, PTSD, and like it can form in like stomach ulcers, seizures. It could be like a variety of different physical ailments, essentially, that kind of again manifest and show as like a physical, like biological, like interaction or intervention kind of thing. So that's what it seems like she's kind of talking about here. So I also noticed REN looks like Cillian Murphy, the actor. Let me know in the comments if you see it too, or if I'm just
Essentially, your mind is making music.
Okay. So that's a big statement. Your mind is making you sick. I love the artistic value it has, but I feel like that alone could be a really dangerous topic, and like just the way it was worded, I think it could be worded in a more influential way. I get they're trying to kind of get like some of the like the shock value, for sure. Like that's what all media tries to do eventually. But there is a form with mental health. Again, if you're not taking care of it, if you're not doing it, and especially if you're dealing with traumatic, your brain is going to continually do certain things that you learn to keep yourself safe from that traumatic experience that might not benefit you in the current experience that you're witnessing. And that's kind of the negative feedback loop that she was talking about earlier. Ultimately, again, it's your body's way of trying to do whatever it can to keep safe. So it's through my therapeutic theoretical framework that I utilize, again, IFS, we kind of play into that. Instead of like trying to just shift it, it's like we ask questions and kind of explore it in ways that we can kind of gain new information and learn and adapt those certain behaviors, that negative feedback loop of like what it's actually trying to tell us and how it's trying to protect us. Very interesting beat.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroid.
So sick boy, bitten by a tick boy. I've learned new information through the comments of the Renegades on my last video that he struggled with Lyme disease for many years, and like that also brought a lot of like mental health problems, some disorders, and some other health complications where Ren kind of lost faith in the medical field, and rightfully so. That's something that they clearly dropped the ball on him, and he's has every right to be mad, but I think that's kind of what he's referring to.
Poster boy pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil. I'm about to break, boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain. Have another go, take another pill. Here, take a couple more. Let's see how you're doing in another week or so. You'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show. Derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan.
So he has some really clear. Him quoting the therapist or whatever it may be, it's again like this full embodiment of like the medical field really dropping the ball when it comes to him and his specific ailments and stuff. It's very clear he's still very angry, holding all on to that lot of anger, and again, rightfully so. Like, the health is something not to mess with, and if it's something that's just constant pain and constant thing, we see that with chronic ill patients, like severe depression when it comes to pretty much anything, because again, you're just living day by day in constant pain. Like, that has such an exhausting toll on your mental health, your physical health, your psychological health, like, and your emotional health. How can you manage all of those if you have constant pain receptors firing off through your body? And just, again, take another pill. We'll see how you are in another week. And again, I know it can be very damning, and it's just heartbreaking to see that like someone's gone through this, and just like how the ball's just been dropped when they just want to get better, and it just that anger is gonna hold with them.
With the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration. Drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown. I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground. I've been screaming, I've been shouting.
That's a really beautiful lyric.
Drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown. I've been feeling like
I feel like I'm drowning with my feet up on the ground. That can be such a creative way to kind of encapsulate the feeling of like hopelessness, but knowing that my experience right now, or where I'm at in my life, is like you can't really see the hurt and struggle and the like what I'm going through right now, because my feet are on the ground, yes, but I'm still feeling like I'm drowning. Like, I'm feeling like I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for it to grasp air and just anything I can do to survive, and it's just like my feet up on the ground, like it's just normal.
with my feet up on the ground.
So much anger through the song.
But I never make a sound. I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix, boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick, boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift, boy.
I think here it seems like he's talking about like almost as if like being judged, and the idea that being sick or think there's like has such negative connotations to it, especially with the mental health field. He kind of breezes over it. And I think there's some themes that kind of align with like the stigmatization that comes with mental health, and like, oh, I'm sick, but I have to push it down. I have to be okay and look like everything's kind of okay, just like all around. And it's just like you can't succeed, or like mental health is such like this idea of like, oh, you're gonna like, we're not gonna place bets on you because like, again, you struggle with mental health, and that's such like a negative way to look at it. But I like, again, it's been stigmatized for so many years. I know it's it seems like he does a fantastic job at bringing like realization to it and bringing meaning to it. Like mental health is something like clearly take care of yourself, but it was still pushed in society, like he talked about for so long. And like he said like what was it? It was he said like society's like the problem, or the parasitic or something. Yeah, I don't know exactly where it was, but he like says like just how like society's the problem, and that's social psychology kind of coming in like through and through.
I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain.
Wow, he's drawing really clear connections on how as humans we kind of take for granted like what we have, and like humans do awful things to like the planet just for wealth and like commercialized consumerism. And here he is saying, I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain. I wonder if
I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, because I'm doing the
because he's doing the similar things. That's kind of where I thought he was going with it, that we do certain things to ourselves and we think certain things of ourselves, especially in negative ways, because we're just trying to get that maybe quick fix, that like our own version of wealth within ourselves, and sometimes we don't do it the right way, and that's where professionals come into play. But again, with him in the trauma he's experienced, he's already has that wall up when it comes to professionals in mental health and the medical field, because they've let him down severely. This would be a significantly hard thing to work through. Not impossible. It seems like he's clearly found an outlet with music to really voice his opinions and the experience and what he's been through, which is phenomenal. And again, any creative way to process some trauma and explore that and process it is, again, it's not going to undo it or like get rid of it, but ultimately it's for him to be able to live a life that isn't controlled or dictated by that trauma, because trauma will always be part of you, but it doesn't have to dictate your very being. And I think music is the way he's able to get it back, and that's how powerful it seems. That's a really, really cool song, really abstract. I really like the idea of like bringing a therapist in, and again, like I like how he didn't make like the therapist the bad guy, but kind of gave it like a very typical interaction between it, like, oh, like talk about your childhood. That's a very common thing, and it can very well play a factor, a role, but it seems like, again, sometimes if the therapist drops the ball and doesn't really know where to explore, doesn't really get a good interaction between the first session or two, it's kind of like a shot in the dark. We kind of like, therapists are trained to just start conversations and kind of see where they lead and pick out certain themes and look for things to what's called anchor on. It's like a certain theme or topic where you really focus and explore the super intricacies that maybe individuals we don't typically think about, but when it comes to really exploring them, that's when it like some typical themes like, holy shit, this influenced me more than I thought. I think about this a little bit more than I realized before, and it's more important in my life than I had previously anticipated. But great song. Again, he makes some really good music, and I think I can see why the Renegades have become so big and so drawn to his music. He very well describes struggle and fear and anger when it comes to mental health and dealing with our own problems, demons, or beliefs about ourselves too. So it's just, that's a hard one, but that's really meaningful for sure. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. A lot of you guys asked for this one. Did you like this reaction? Did I miss something? Because there was a lot. I'm very sure I missed a few different things, but I just pinpointed what stuck out to me. Make sure you give it a like and a comment, and make sure you're subscribed, because we're almost at 500, and I want to get to 1,000 by in the next month or so. So let's run it up. All right, catch you next video.